just without fear and thrive without fear. So thank you again.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
I just had one more thing I wanted to add. I know that in Minneapolis, city staff were giving direction to design a sign for private property owners who wanted to lawfully restrict ICE activity in their non-public areas. And so I'm just wondering if that's something that we can also consider doing.
I don't know, Mr. Attorney. I know that we can control our own property as the city of Tucson. There are a lot of questions because of the fear that is being created and the chaos that is being created. Um, I receive a lot of questions about what can the mayor, what can the council, what can the city of Tucson do? I don't think we can protect private property because that is, there's private property rights. But those that want to, is there any type of language um, that we could recommend?
It's a good question, Mayor, and you're right. We can control our own property. Where it comes to private property, the challenge is not only we want to be very careful about telling folks what they can and can't do with their own property, but also we want to be very, very careful about because we have mechanisms for enforcing what happens on city property, right? So private property owners would engage with TPD, and then you involve TPD against ICE, and that's not really a good situation to have, and the concern with people would get hurt. So we just want to be very, very clear that, in the sense that there is law enforcement activity on private property, you have the right to control your own property, and if it's being used inappropriately, you can take action either through no trespass signs, which are already available and are readily usable. But also be very careful about understanding the difference between something like an HSI investigation versus a ICE civil enforcement activity. And so I think the actions that you've taken, Mayor, and Ward 1 and the other ward or council members have taken in terms of putting that information out through the Know Your Rights website and those sorts of things are available for folks to use in protection of themselves and their own property. And I think that's a good way to go.
Also, in terms of the Know Your Rights website that we put out, I know that we've been on the same page with the city manager, our chief Casmar. I know that he feels very strongly about having a good relationship with our residents because of the possibility of people not reporting crimes and people taking advantage and abusing the status of individuals in our city. So we've gone through this before. I just want to remind us of this. We went through the SB 1070 days. I was on the council when all of that was happening. I introduced the changes in TPD's general orders to be able to protect our community and so that they could feel safe with our own police officers and our police department. And so the general orders in terms of immigration and how to treat juveniles and victims and witnesses of crime, and all of the changes that we did at that time are done. As mayor, I'm comparing notes with other mayors across the country to see what they have been able to do. It's just different because each city has a different system of government. There are cities like Chicago that has a strong mayor system of government, and usually they can just go ahead and do executive orders, and the laws are very different. There's cities that also are blue cities in blue states that have the support of their governor and their state legislature, and they could do many other things. So every city is in a very different place in terms of what we can do because of the government system that we have, and then of course where they if they're part of a red or a blue state. So I will continue to make sure to work with other elected officials in the state, to work with organizations that want to work with me and want to work with us to help protect our community. I'm open and willing to work with anyone to help make sure that we are protecting our residents as much as we possibly can. So with that, I don't know if there's any other questions or comments, Councilmember Schubert.
Just want to quickly also express my thanks to Mayor and Vice Mayor for putting this memo forward and for my council colleagues' comments. I feel really proud to be a part of a group of people that, we're not going to fall in line and we're not going to be intimidated into complying because we're afraid of being targeted. This is about looking at all of our available options, what's legally available, because that's what the constituents are asking us to do. I'm like the rest of you. We've been getting phone calls. We've been having folks stop in asking, what is the city doing? We know you're on our side, but literally what actions can you take? So I was very excited to get to share this memo with my constituents in Ward 6, and I'm excited to see where this conversation goes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Vice Mayor, for helping lead with this. We're missing Councilmember Cunningham, but the motion is alive and on the floor. There's a motion and a second. I don't know if there's any further discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. And let the record show that Councilmember Cunningham did walk in just in time to vote on this. Yes, I saw that. Thank you so much. We're going to take a little bit of a 5-minute break and then come back with the item 7, which is a Tucson Resilient Together update. Thank you. I'm sorry.